welcome back to CBSE Learners. This is me Pooja and Rao. You are watching me on my channel CBSE Learners. Today's class is on grammar class and I will going to explain you about the rules which we follow when we uses verb for to agree with our subject. Okay, so these are known as subject verb agreement. Okay, so there are few basic rules which we should follow when we are using verb with the subject. Okay, now let's start with the first rule. Okay, now the first rule is rule number 1. Okay, so when two singular nouns are joined with and it can be more than two singular nouns also. Okay, so when two singular nouns are joined with and, the verb we use should be plural. For example, Meeta and Geeta are friends. Or you can say Ram and Raj are cousins. Okay, so when we are using two singular nouns, okay, just to show that with the help of we are using and to join the singular nouns. Okay, it can be more than two singular nouns also. When more than two or more than two singular nouns are joined with and, then the verb we should agree with the plural form. The verb we use should be in plural form. Okay, like Meeta and Geeta are friends, Ram and Raj are cousins. Okay, so this is the first rule. Now second one, we will learn the second rule. Okay, now the second rule is when two singular nouns are joined with and, but they point out or they convey same idea. Okay, one idea. They point out to same thing or same person. Like, let's see, rule 2. Okay, when two singular nouns are joined with and, but they conveys single idea or points out to same things or person, the verb should be singular. Okay, now see, when we are using two singular nouns, in first rule we are using two singular nouns, but both are pointing out to different persons, so we have used the plural form. But in this rule, when we are using two singular nouns, but we are joining with and, but both are giving you the same idea, both are conveying you the same idea, that time the verb should be in singular. For example, we say rice and curry is my favorite dish. Okay, so if you are saying the rice and the curry, then you have to say there is a note. Okay, note means there is an exception. When you are saying that the rice and the curry, then you have to use are, because both are pointing out different things. But if you are saying rice and curry is my favorite dish, that means you are using it as a whole idea, isn't it? That rice and curry you are using as a whole idea, that is single idea, isn't it? But see, when you are saying the collector and district magistrate is away. The collector and district magistrate is away. Okay, so that time you are saying that both are away, means both are on holidays. So that time you can say, because it is conveying you the same idea, you can say that you can use the singular verb. But if you are saying that collector and the district magistrate are both powerful officers, at that time you have to use the plural form. Okay. Now for example, see, rice and curry is my favorite dish. Okay. Here we are using rice and curry as a single dish. Okay. We are considering. That is why we are using is. If we are considering both the rice and the curry, then it will be are. Okay. Are. Or you can say and the chicken curry. Any curry you can use. Okay. Are. That time it will be are. Because both are giving you the different ideas. But in the first sentence, it is conveying you the single idea. So, you can say that is. Now, let me give you the second example. Okay. The second example is the collector and district magistrate is away. It is giving you the same idea that both are away. So, you can use this one is away. Okay. But if there should be a note. If both are pointing out to different things. Okay. The note will be, so write down the note also. Note, if both are pointing out different persons and things, then the verb should be in plural. Okay. For example, see. For example, the collector and the district magistrate are both powerful officers. It is giving you different ideas that both are powerful officers. Okay. So it is giving you the idea that both are powerful officers. Okay. So this is the second rule. When you are using the singular noun, we are joining the singular nouns with the help of and, but it is giving you the same idea or it is pointing to the same thing or same person, then you can use singular verb. But if it is pointing out different things or different person, then you have to use plural verb. Okay. Now the rule 3. Okay. So let me explain you the rule 3. Now the rule 3. When two subjects are joined with as well as, the verb agrees with the first subject. Okay. So when you are using this one as well as to join two subjects, then the verb will agree with the first subject. The first subject, whatever you will take. If you are taking he, if you are taking she, or if you are taking I, then the verb will agree. The verb will agree with the first subject. For example, see, the children as well as their father are playing. Okay, so here the verb is agreeing with the children. Okay, the children as well as their father are playing. So here the verb is agreeing with the first subject. Okay. Okay, next. The father as well as his children is playing. Now see, here the father is singular, isn't it? So the verb is agreeing with the first subject, that is the father. Okay, the father as well as his children is playing. Okay, so I hope this one is clear. Rule 3. Then if you are using as well as to join two subjects, then the verb should agree with the first subject. Okay, whatever you are using the first subject, the verb should agree with the first subject. Next comes the rule 4. Okay, so first rule, second rule, third rule is clear. Next comes the fourth rule. Now fourth rule is what? When you are using every, everyone, many, each, either, neither. Okay, so the verb will be singular in form. Okay, so rule 4. Rule 4. When we are using every, everyone, each, either, many, when we are using every, everyone, each, either, many, neither, etc. The etc. I have used here because this type of words, everyone, everyone, each one, either, many, neither. Okay, so when we are using this, the verb should be in singular. Okay, for example, see, every one of them desires this. Okay, so here you see we are using everyone. Okay, but here we are using the singular verb. Okay, desires. Every one of them desires this. Next one is either of these plans is to be executed. Okay, so either of this plan should be or is to be executed. Okay, so these are always this either, neither, each, many. Okay, so these words will be always followed with the singular verb. Okay, now let's the rule 4. The rule 4 is when you are using either or, neither nor. Okay, so the rule 5, I think. The rule 5. Rule 4 is that if it is followed, if there is everyone, many, each, if all these words are there, then it will be followed with the singular. Now rule 5 is when the subjects are joined with either or and neither nor or neither nor. Neither nor, the verb should agree with the second subject. So whichever is the second subject, the verb should agree with that. Okay. For example, neither he nor she is able to do the work. Okay. Number B, let's see. Either I or my brother has to do the work. Okay. So when whatever subject you are using as second subject, the verb should agree with the second subject. The verb will be depending on the second subject. Okay. Now let's see the rule 6. Okay. The rule 6 will be when we will take a single, when a noun is singular in form, but it is denoting, it is collective in sense. Okay, it is denoting something in collective. Okay, so let's see the rule 6. When the subject is singular in form but collective in sense, the verb should be singular. Okay, so when the subject or the noun is singular in form but the sense it is giving is collective. For example, the parliament. Parliament is singular in form but it is plural in sense, isn't it? It is collective in sense. For example, the parliament has elected its speaker. We say like this, isn't it? Isn't it? The parliament has elected its speaker. Or you can say the committee has chosen its president. Okay, so here we are using the singular. We are using this parliament, this committee. It is denoting oneness. Okay, now you have to remember that there should be, when you can use the singular verb when there is oneness in the word in the singular form. But if there is diversity in their opinion, if there is diversity in the opinion of the members of the parliament, then it will be plural. Okay, for example, the jury, the word jury is singular in form but collective in sense. But if all the members of the jury, they are having different opinion, then we will say if they are not using oneness, if they are not united, if they are having separate ideas, if they are having diversity, then the verb used will be plural. Okay, so note, this is exception, this note should write, if there is oneness, the verb will be singular. Okay, but if there is diversity, the verb will be plural. For example, the jury were different in their opinions. Here they are giving you the idea of diversity, not oneness. So you have to use verb. Okay, so clear, if there is oneness, then the verb will be singular, but if there is diversity, then the verb used will be plural. Okay, now the rule 7. Okay, this is the rule 6. Now rule 7. Rule 7. If there is the word a great many, the verb used will be plural. Okay, if there is the word, like we say now, a great many people have attended the meeting. So if there is the word a great many, then you can use the plural verb. Okay, a great many people have attended the meeting. Okay, so this is very simple. This is the 7th rule. Okay, now let's see the rule 8. Okay, now what is the rule 8? Rule 8. When two subjects are joined with the help of together with in addition to no less than and no, the verb agrees with the first subject. For example, see, when we say hard work in addition to intelligence is required to get success in life. Then we are going with the first subject. We are agreeing with the first subject. Now let's see the second example. The girl with her parents has arrived. Now maybe the first example you can't get clarification, but the second one, see, when we are using the girl with her parents. So we have the first subject is singular in number and the second subject is plural in with her parents. Okay, so but we are agreeing with the first subject, that is the girl, and we are using has. The girl with her parents has arrived. Okay, so we are agreeing with the first subject. If these words are there, like with, together with, in addition to, no less than, when we say I am no less than to blame than her, isn't it? So we'll go with the first subject. Okay, now the rule 9. Okay, rule 9 is exactly opposite to that one. When we say singular in form, the rule 9 will be, it will show plural in form, but it makes singular sense. Okay, so rule 9. When the word is plural in form, singular. Okay. Now see, for example, this news was broadcasted by all the TV channels yesterday. Okay. The news, it is plural in form, but it is giving you the sense of singular. That is singular in sense. So we are using the singular verb, that is was. Okay, very simple. If it is plural in form, though it is looking plural in form, but it is giving you singular sense, the verb will be singular. Okay. Now next comes the rule 10. Rule 10. When two subjects are joined with not only, okay, then the verb agrees with the second subject. So if you say not only in a sentence, okay, so if you are saying not only in a sentence, the verb is going to agree with the second subject. For example, not only I, but my sister is also studious. Okay. So if you see not only I, but my sister, so but also. Okay. So if you are seeing not only along with but also. Okay. But also. So not only I, but also my sister is studious. Okay. Not only I, but also my sister is studious. So when you are seeing not only but also, when we are using this term to join two subjects, then the verb agrees with the second subject. Okay. So next see the second example. Not only she, but also her sisters are able to do this work. Okay. So not only she, but also her sisters are able to do the work. Here see, with the second subject is plural in number. So we are using the verb plural. Okay. So I hope this one is clear to you. The rule 10. Okay. So this is the rule 10. Next comes the rule number 11. Okay. So what is the rule number 11? Rule 11. When two subjects are joined with or, the verb agrees with the second subject. For example, he and his sisters, sorry, it will be or. He or his sisters are there. Okay. So when we are using with or, the subject will agree with the verb will agree with the second subject. Okay. Now the rule number 12. Now rule number 12 indicates when two subjects of different numbers of different persons are joined together with and, the verb will be plural in number. Okay. So rule 12. when two subjects of different numbers or different persons or both are joined with and the verb will be plural. Okay. The example, he and I were friends. Okay. So when it doesn't matter what is the subject or what is the subject, it doesn't matter. If you are using the two subjects, whether the whatever the number it is, it doesn't matter. If you are using and to join them, the word will be plural. Okay. Now next comes the rule 13. Okay. Now the rule 13 is rule 13. When the noun singular in form but plural in sense, the verb is singular in form but plural in sense, the verb will be plural. For example, cattle are grazing. The word cattle is singular in form, but cattle means a lot of animals. Okay, so cattle is singular in form but plural in sense. So it is cattle are grazing. Number B, people were shouting. So see this one, people is singular in form but it is plural in number. So we are using the plural verb. Okay. Next is rule number 14. So what is the rule number 14? Rule number 14. So up to this time we have only learned about the singular nouns. Now we will learn about the plural nouns. When plural nouns indicate some amount or quantity considered as whole, the verb will be singular in form. Okay. For example, this one you will see in case of rupees. Okay. So when we say that, we often get confused when we want to say whether to use is or whether to use are, isn't it? When we say 100 rupees note is or are, 100 rupees, it is looking plural. But what we should say, is or are. So when we say that I think 100 rupees is enough for you. So why we say is? Because usually we say is, isn't it? Why we say is? Because it is considering some amount in whole. Okay. Though it is plural in form, but it is indicating something, some amount as a whole. So I think 100 rupees is enough for me. Okay, so here see 100 rupees is showing you, it is giving you the sense of it is a plural in form, isn't it? The noun is plural in form, but it is indicating some amount as a So we are using the singular verb. Okay. So this is the rule 14. Now rule 15. What is the rule 15? When some names of books, countries and some subjects, it seems plural but is actually not. It is singular. Like see, physics, mathematics. These are the having S. So we are thinking, sometimes we think this, it looks like plural, but it is actually not. Like United States of America, it is looking as plural, but it is one country, isn't it? So this is the thing which you should remember, that though it looks like plural, but it's having singular sense. Then you have to use the singular verb. Okay. Rule 15. When the names of subjects, books, countries, states, etc. looks like plural, but actually not, then the verb used should be singular. Okay. So in this case, the verb used should be singular. For example, physics is my favorite subject. Okay. So this is actually looking as plural, but actually not. Okay. This is the name of the subject. Okay. So we are using is, singular verb. Next to be number B. Number B is the Arabian Nights is an interesting book. So this is also looking as plural, but actually not. This is the name of a book. So we have to use the singular verb. Okay. So I hope up to rule 15 is clear to you. Next, one more rule, that is rule 16. Okay. Now the last rule, which is the rule 16. Okay. So let me give you the rule 16. This is in case of relative pronoun. Okay. Rule 16. When there is a relative pronoun, the verb agrees in numbers or persons with the noun or the pronoun to which the relative pronoun refers. Okay. Now see here, if there is a relative pronoun, the verb will agree with the number or the person if to which the relative pronoun is referring. So it will agree with the verb will agree with the subject or the number or the person you call to which the relative pronoun is referring. Okay. For example, Srimati, who is my friend, has a thirst for knowledge. Okay. So see, here Srimati, who is my friend, has a thirst for knowledge. Okay. So you can understand that it is referring here Srimati, who is. So the personal, the relative pronoun, when the verb will agree to which the relative pronoun is referring. Okay. So I hope this 16 rules are clear to you, and these are the basic rules which you should remember to correctly follow or to correctly write down the sentences. And this is not only for your grammar, it is for your communication. While communicating, it is very important to remember the subject verb agreement, okay, or else you will be confused. So if you are thinking to understand or to learn the communicative English, you can share this video with the person who wants to learn the communication English, okay. So this is very not only important in your syllabus, for your communication too, okay. So if you like this video, just hit the like button and share with your friends who require this, who will be benefited with this video. As I have said, this is very important if you are trying to learn communication skill, okay. So thanks a lot for staying tuned with us, and I hope this will be helpful to you.